Let's talk about something that affects millions and millions of people, but is still, kind of shrouded in mystery and misunderstanding. That's depression. Today, we're going to break down what it is, what it isn't, and most importantly, how we can all talk about it in a way that actually helps. So let's dive right in. Okay, first things first. We have to get this straight. Depression isn't some kind of personal weakness or a niche problem. Not at all. It's a massive, and I mean massive, global health issue that touches people in every single corner of the world. I mean, to really wrap your head around the scale of this, just listen to this fact. Depression is the single leading cause of disability worldwide. Not just mental health disability, we're talking disability of any kind. That fact alone tells you we're dealing with something incredibly serious and widespread. And to bring that huge global number a little closer to home, right here in the United States, nearly 10% of adults struggle with depression. Think about that. That's literally 1 in every 10 people. The chances that you know someone or that you yourself are dealing with this are incredibly high. Now, this is probably the biggest point of confusion for a lot of us. We all feel sad, right? It's a totally normal human emotion. So it's really easy to mix that feeling up with clinical depression. But they are fundamentally completely different things. Let's break down exactly how. When you see it side by side like this, it becomes super clear. Sadness? That's temporary. It's usually tied to a specific reason, like a tough day or a loss. But depression? That's a whole different ballgame. It's a persistent medical disorder. It's not just a feeling that comes and goes. It sticks around and gets in the way of your ability to just live your life. And here we have the actual clinical definition. See? It's not just feeling down. It's a medical condition that hangs around for at least 2 straight weeks, and it's serious enough to mess with the most fundamental parts of your life, your job, your relationships, even just enjoying things you used to love. So how does a doctor actually diagnose it? Well, they use a specific checklist of symptoms, and you can see them here. It's stuff like a consistently low mood, losing interest in everything, big changes in your appetite or sleep. To get a diagnosis, you need to have at least 5 of these symptoms. It confirms that this is a real pattern, not just having a bad week. So we've covered the what, but what about the why? Let's pivot from the symptoms, what it looks like on the outside, to what's actually going on inside the brain. This is so important because it really drives home the fact that depression is a biological illness. This is the million-dollar question, right? If depression is a medical condition, then what's physically going on in there? Well, thanks to neuroscience, we're finally starting to get a much clearer picture of the physical changes that are happening. And it turns out the changes are real, and you can actually measure them. In people with depression, scientists can see physical differences in brain structure, like smaller frontal lobes. Chemically, key messengers in the brain, like serotonin and dopamine, get disrupted. Even our body's internal clock, our circadian rhythm, can get all thrown off. It's just not a feeling, it's a change in your body's actual biology. Now, understanding the problem is one thing, but that's not where the story ends. The best part is, because this is a medical condition, it's something that can be treated. So let's look at the different pathways to getting better. But first, we have to talk about this huge, huge hurdle. This statistic is just staggering. It takes the average person over 10 years to ask for help. A decade. A whole decade of suffering before reaching out. And why? It goes right back to that confusion between sadness and depression. When we mistake a medical condition for a personal failing, it creates this powerful stigma that stops people from getting the help they desperately need. The good news, though, is that there are highly effective treatments out there. The most common approach is a combination of medication and therapy. And for more severe treatment-resistant cases, there are other powerful options like ECT and newer brain stimulation techniques like TMS. The main takeaway here is simple. Help is available, and it really, truly works. Okay, so understanding the science is great, but what do we do with that knowledge? How can we use it to actually help someone in our own life who might be going through this? These steps are so concrete and so powerful. Offering specific help, like, hey, can I help you look up some therapists, can make a huge difference. Gently encouraging them to get help and constantly reminding them that it's a medical condition, not a weakness, that's vital. And this is a big one. Avoid comparing what they're going through to just feeling sad. That can make them feel even more alone. But the most important thing you can do, just talk about it, openly. If you remember just one thing from all of this, please let it be this. Depression is not a character flaw, it's a health issue. We would never tell someone with a broken arm to just get over it, right? Well, the exact same logic applies here.
Shifting our perspective on this is everything.
So I'll leave you with this thought to chew on. Open conversations destroy stigma. They make it so much easier for people to finally ask for help. And the more people that get treatment, the more we learn, and the better those treatments get. It's this amazing cycle of progress, and it all starts with a simple conversation. So what happens when we all decide to start talking?